What's more important to you, credibility or going viral?
A lot of times, Cam, I don't even know. I didn't know it was going to go viral. A lot of these clips that go viral.
Halloween was a trip. Halloween, we couldn't afford no Halloween costumes. Hey, kids, please. Mama sent us down to the liquor store, put boxes on us. We didn't know what we were.
I don't know what we are.
You know, I've always been on tour with some real monsters, man. I toured with the Kings. You know, I've been on stage with Sid, DL, and Bernie Mac at the same time.
I'm like, oh man, we done messed up. So I'm like, what did I say?
Yeah.
Did I say something? Did he? He like, this is gonna be the talk of 24.
No way.
We all know that Katt Williams and Steve Harvey were at odds, but after Katt made some controversial comments about Steve and several other black comedians, it appears that Steve may be sharing some big news. Essentially, it seems like he's accusing Shannon Sharpe and Katt Williams of fabricating their viral interview, which got tens of millions of views. Let's start with the fact that Shannon Sharpe's Club Shay podcast may have been the most watched interview of the year, with Katt Williams leaving no stone unturned as he set the industry on fire, as well as a number of black stars, and talked about the seedy underbelly of glamorous Hollywood. Does Shannon Sharpe expect any of this, though? It seems like he has had some difficulty stabilizing his business since leaving. Shannon politely left his Fox Sports show with Skip Alice. But many people thought he had been fired for comments he had made about Tom Brady. Shannon refuted such reports, saying he had been treated disrespectfully by his co-host.
Welcome back to Undisputed, everybody. Must admit, I've been dreading the end of today's show, but here we are. Shannon, my friend, I know you have some things you'd like to say, so the floor is yours.
Thank you, Jen, I do. Ladies and gentlemen, this is officially my last day at work. After 7 years, the train stops for Shannon Sharpe and Undisputed right here. And over 7 years, I've made a lot of friends, and I'd like to take the time now to thank some of these people. First, I'd like to thank Fox and FS1 for giving me this opportunity, for believing in me, and allowed me to share this stage with a young man that I've sat across from for 7 years. I want to thank you. I want to thank my original boss, Jamie Horowitz, who got on a plane, came down in Atlanta, and told me, I could be a star. You can do this. You can sit across from Skip Bayless and do this. I see it in your eyes. I see the passion in which you talk. You can do this.
We therefore know that Shannon was desperate for his big break, and that he needed his one big viral moment to establish his reputation and make him an important part of pop culture. He may have thought that staging an explosive interview with Katt Williams would be his best course of action, because, to start the interview, Williams stated that he was there to correct the record after witnessing Steve Harvey and other comedians lying to him in a previous show.
I have watched all of these lowbrow comedians come here and disrespect you in your face and tell you straight up lies. I'm talking about things that have never been heard in all of Black Hollywood. They feel comfortable sitting here and lying to you about it.
You gonna set the record straight?
Are you kidding me? You let Ricky Smiley sit here and you said out that mouth, you stole Friday After Next, the one I was in.
And boy, did he give Steve a hard time. He even called him Mr. Potato Head and said that nobody wants to cast him because he can't act.
Then you asked it, why you not a movie star? I didn't want to be a movie star. This the same Negro that hated on Bernie with this same thing. I didn't want to be a movie star. No, you couldn't be a movie star. There are 30,000 new scripts in Hollywood every year. Not one of them asks for a country bumpkin black dude that can't talk good over KB and look like Mr. Potato Head. There ain't none. You would have to have range. I played a lot of characters, 60 movie roles. I'm not playing Katt Williams in there.
I don't know, Katt. We might not let you drink anymore the way I mean, we ain't even got.
You mean to tell me if Steve Harvey, your favorite comedian, you mean you've been waiting for him to do stand-up for 15 years now? He stopped stand-up because he got in a comedy battle called the Championship of Stand-Up Comedy with one Katt Williams in Detroit in front of 10,000 people and lost because Katt Williams said he was actually bald and that was a wig.
Let's be clear about one thing now. Steve Harvey and Katt Williams have a long-standing feud that began one evening on stage when the seasoned Steve Harvey suddenly Katt Williams rising on stage.
It was in 2005 is when he would officially let Hollywood know that he was next after a killer performance on BET's Comedy Awards. That night, he would be introduced by veteran comedian Steve Harvey, who years prior would make a name for himself as one of the original kings of comedy. To a cheering audience, Harvey would yell out, "Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome one of the hottest young comedians in the country today. I'm telling you, he's got my stamp. This Cat is hot. Please put your hands together for Katt Williams. For nearly 7 minutes, Williams would deliver joke after joke during his televised appearance.
Unbeknownst to many at the time,
he had arrived.
That animosity would eventually come to a head when C was asked to participate in a New Year's Eve performance in order to boost ticket sales.
Fast forward to 2008, the two comedians would end up going back and forth in the press about who was the better comedian. The conversation would be connected to an upcoming New Year's Eve show in Detroit featuring Harvey and Williams. According to an interview in 2009, Williams would express that the now infamous New Year's Eve show with Harvey wasn't supposed to have him included, but at the last minute, since he was walking away from stand-up at the time, was asked to be on the bill to help sell tickets. I was only supposed to come in and help sell tickets. Then he flipped it and made it into something he shouldn't have made it with me.
Katt claimed that although Steve Harvey's side started the altercation, he was determined to put an end to it.
First of all, I'd like to say thank you to you, because you didn't have to accept this. You could have just said, no, I'm not going to do it. You have been the king of comedy as long as we've had one. Matter of fact, the whole phrase, king of comedy, can be attributed to you. And I'm honored that you would allow me to share the same stage as you. And I don't know why people made this a championship bout. And I don't know why you was okay with that. And I want to apologize for what's going to happen.
Who is this nigga?
But the second that you
Jim
get
Jones.
off stage, I need you to understand that that's your final time.
Naturally, Steve gave Katt a blow of his own by saying that he didn't even know who he was at first.
I've always been cool with Katt. He said in an interview that back in L.A. when I didn't know who he was, I understand that I didn't know who he was when I was on the radio in L.A. He hadn't been in any movies or anything. And, the brother was just not that known, but he was talking about me in the clubs. And I just asked on the radio, whoever Katt Williams is, to call me. He called me. He straightened it out. We became friends. We've been cool ever since. So I thought. And now, all of this here, man, but at the end of the day, here's the deal. When I get to Detroit New Year's Eve, I've done one thing for 23 years.
Of course, Steve is a stickler for maintaining a good image, and in a later interview said he likes keeping peace and tried to work with the other greats like Bernie Mac before shows to give people a good time. Katt later said that Harvey was disrespectful to comedians before him by calling himself the king of comedy and even suggested he was fake because he was only friendly with him after he found out who he was.
To be honest with you, Frankie, I didn't know nothing about this concept. When the promoter told me about it in October, I shot it down, because that ain't how I've ever promoted a show. I've always been on tour with some real monsters, man. I toured with the Kings. I've been on stage with Sid, DL, and Bernie Mac at the same time. It's always been a camaraderie. Right. You know what I mean? We're going out here to give the people the best show we can give them. And that's the way we've always promoted comedy shows. Now, to turn this into some type of little beef, that ain't got nothing to do with me. That ain't how I do. Now, I done heard all of the YouTubes and I done heard all the interviews and all like that. But that ain't got nothing to do with me. You want to sell a ticket like that, knock yourself out.
You've sold out concerts. You both have had huge gate receipts.
He implied that Katt was using his name as a stepping stone to sell tickets.
So this here little beef thing that everybody wanna start, cause you wanna make a name for yourself. That's cool. Do you? You ain't gonna do it right here though. You ain't gonna build no reputation on Steve Harvey. So I've been doing this a long time. So now, whatever you're gonna do is cool. Just do you going first.
You're going first. Okay.
See, it ain't you can't really pick a headline. But I prefer to go first. And sometimes ego makes you want to be last. I ain't gotta have that. I'm gonna do my same amount of time and walk off. Now you do you. See, I have nothing to prove. All I got to do is keep being Steve Harvey that he's been for over 20 years.
When the New Year's Eve show finally came, Steve Harvey largely followed his script despite having earlier said he had nothing to prove, but Katt didn't hold back.
Came time for the show, Harvey took to the stage first and mostly stuck to his material as promised. Now once Katt took to the stage, he wouldn't hold back. Katt abandoned his plans and used the stage time to roast Harvey. Please give it up for Steve Harvey. He's one of the best we've ever had. but he don't want no parts of this in no shape or form. You see, he had to take off that lace front high top fade to come out here with me. Now, Katt's performance would go viral online, and many would argue that he would win the championship of comedy battle against Steve that night. Now, months later, when asked about retiring and his beef with Harvey, Katt will go on to put the blame directly on Harvey by saying he was the one who set things up. On his show, he decided it was going to be the championship of comedy. He did all that. None of that was my doing. I was not even involved in it on that level. He tried to flip it and become the victim.
Several years later, Steve Harvey was once more attacked by Katt Williams, who claimed that he had stolen Mark Curry's quips. It turns out that Katt was right.
Halloween was a trip. Halloween, we couldn't afford no Halloween costumes. Hey, kids, please. Mama sent us down to the liquor store, put boxes on us. We didn't know what we were. I don't know what we are. I don't know. She didn't tell us. I think we UPS, I guess. I don't know.
You've heard me say that every Halloween I had the same outfit on. Every year. I just had a brown box. No, it wasn't nothing sad. I asked my father, could I have a new outfit? And he said, no, just wear the same one. It was just a brown box. And he just told me to tell everybody I was a UPS man.
Yeah. Okay, so tell me about never said thank you. So what's up with you and Steve, man? Ain't nothing with me. Well, Steve stole my material on his show, so I had a beef on that. On what show? When he was on the bullshit talk show he had, and he did all my Halloween material one Halloween. I'm watching, somebody called me and said, man, homeboy doing your material. So he did my whole Halloween run. And I know he didn't think of it. You know, this is true stuff that really happened to me. And so my thing is, you don't have to do that, homeboy. Right. So, you know, you made enough money, bitch ass. You know, wow. You made enough money, you did enough. You know, why are you on my material? Right. You know, what's that about? You know, and then, you know, people want to jump up, oh, he didn't know, he didn't steal your. So yes, he did. Yeah. I mean, you know, so, you know, and so that there's no need to do, no one else has did that.
So this was on his talk show. Which talk was his TV talk show?
His TV talk show.
Can we really believe Steve when he says that Katt Williams and Shannon Sharpe arranged their interview, especially when Steve still stays away from Katt's?
Comedy Jam 25. It's good to see so many funny people together in one room, all wondering the same thing. Is Katt Williams gonna show up?
Shit, I'm nervous as hell right now.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, he's right there. There he is. I didn't know he was right there. Nigga, I would not have said that if I had seen right there. Yeah. Not used to quiet, introspective Katt Williams.
No. But let me ask you this. When have you ever seen this many heavy hitters all together at the same time? Yeah. In the same room. Yeah.
That's right.
Additionally, Shannon made an effort to correct the record by denying accusations that he staged the interview and stating that Katt had already forewarned him that people would come for him, but he wouldn't let going viral get in the way of the truth.
What's more important to you, credibility or going viral?
A lot of times, Cam, I don't even know. I didn't know it was going to go viral. A lot of these clips that go viral. I remember when I did Cam. I remember getting up and I turned back and I look at my Katt, and I look at my producer and he's shaking his head. I'm like, oh man, we done messed up. So I'm like, what did I say?
Yeah.
Did I say something? He like, this is gonna be the talk of 24.
No way.
I'm like, you think so? He's like, Shannon. And he's looking at me just like I'm looking at you, Cam. He's like, Shannon, this is gonna be viral for the whole year. I said, come on, man. I said, so I'm thinking at that point in time, Steve Harvey is my most viewed podcast. He's at 8 million. I said, you think we're gonna beat Steve? He's like, yeah. I'm hoping for 10 million.
Yeah.
That's all, Cam, if I get 10 million, I'm like, that's a pretty good interview.
Yeah.
Think about how few people that's in this space that interview people that don't get 10 million.
However, given that he's being attacked from all sides, it's clear that Shannon still got more than he asked for. That's all for now. Let us know what you think in the comments below, and if you want to get future updates, click the bell sign. Did the Club A Shay episode serve only as a publicity stunt, or was there real content?